Okay, it's part 3 of 3 of our BTS rapper series. RM, I'm coming for you. What was that and where was the need? Hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Sam Scott-Thorne and I am a vocal coach based in Glasgow. Now if you'd like to meet and explore your voice a little more, you can find me on sstvocals.com. You can also find me on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook and Patreon, and I'll put the handles down below and over there, up there in the sky, up there, over there. Dramatic. So if you'd like to consider becoming a patron, you have access to things like early release of reactions, you can fast track reactions, become a reaction, there's special roles on my Discord server, and you have exclusive access to Vocal Anatomy 101 videos where you can learn how to use your voice better and more efficiently. So consider becoming a patron and help shape my channel. Okay, it's time. This is the last installment of our BTS rap line series and we are finishing off the show with RM. Now, as per usual, I went and looked at the comments under the community post asking which RM song to listen to, and it was between two. It was between Trivia Love and Intro Persona. And after tallying everything up, Trivia Love came out on top. So we're gonna go and listen to that. Let's go.
And it's love, yeah. And it's love, yeah. Sometimes I know, yeah. Sometimes I don't, yeah. Each time I saw, what that was cigar. No more money, 날 도지만 내 마음 같은 게 하나.
Okay, nice, right. He's very smooth, isn't he? Smooth mover. So what's jumping out at me here is that he is giving quite a lot of projection, but he's doing it in a super casual way. So you're getting these like little scoops on the ends of his phrases. Da 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 da, ba ba da ba ba. So it kind of like mists out towards the end. So you just get this really nice kind of flow to it. Everything's in a nice relaxed position. His larynx isn't too high, it isn't too low. It's sitting in a mid place, which is where it would be if he was speaking. There's maybe a tiny bit of lift as he gets up into here, but nothing that's like noticeably bigger and brighter and like pinched, if you like. I'm enjoying it. Let's keep going and see what happens. This is very like hype. He's just getting the crowd going. Possibly one of the only people in the world who can just show a shoulder, a fully clothed shoulder, and have the crowd going absolutely mental. I wish my shoulder did that. No, nothing, nothing, okay. He's got the rhythm of this in his pocket. It's very, very quick, very sharp, very staccato, and he's keeping that rhythm like bang on. I'm also enjoying the lyrics, they're very cool. He's adding little bits of texture here, and it's mainly from his tongue. Lots of like la 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 to really kind of push and lick those phrases. It's really nice. I'm enjoying this. So there was a little bit of texture coming through. Ah! Like that kind of sound. That to me sounds like it's false vocal folds coming in. Your false vocal folds sit over the top of your true vocal folds to protect them when you're swallowing or lifting stuff that's heavy. So you get a kind of sound if you were to really squeeze in on them. But what he's doing here is he's letting those false vocal folds kind of tickle the sound. Ha! 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 Like that kind of sound. There's possibly a little bit of arytenoid or arytenoid, however you want to say it, rattle in there as well. The arytenoids basically open and close your vocal folds. They're little bits of cartilage. And if we were to rattle them, you get a kind of sound. So there's like a mixture of those two things, and it just gives a kind of a gritty, squeezed kind of texture. It's really cool. Oh, sorry, I took T and pause at the same time. That was stupid. I'm really liking the use of his offsets here. So when we sing, we've got onsets and offsets, the way you start a phrase and the way you finish a phrase. Now, his offsets here are glottal, so they stop really abruptly. So it kind of feels like the phrase is running really kind of steadily, and then he stops dead on. Da 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 da. Ba-da-da-da-ba. It kind of stops really abruptly, and it gives the momentum of the song like these really hard breaks, and it just kind of keeps you interested. It's really interesting to listen to. It makes the song move in a really specific way. I like it.
너 때문에 알았어 왜 사람을 하면 살아야 하는지 I want you act 너를 모유만 MJKLMN PQRS 모든 표정은 너 내가 내게 닿지 반대만 해도 똑같은 소리가 나잖아 그렇다고 내가 넌 아니지만 너의 책상에 그것들 봐 그리고 one more time.
Okay, I have never heard somebody use half of the alphabet in a rap, so that was quite fun. I think part of the charm of RM's rapping and his vocals here is that yes, it is kind of exciting, and yes, he's being quite animated, especially with his voice and the texture, but at the same time, it's really cool and easy and kind of effortlessly playful. I believe the children would call this swag. He has got the swag in the bag. Oh, that rhymed. That makes me a rapper now. I am the 4th rapper of BTS. I will take no questions. Let's keep going.
Let's go,
It kind of sounds a little bit like he's pushing his voice past maybe the point of comfort here. You can hear there's a little bit of grit and more air coming through at the ends, and it's kind of dissipating to the point where it sounds like it's been pushed too far. Because it's a rap, it kind of adds to the kind of character of it, so it's quite cool. But if he was singing and that was happening, then I'd probably want to go and work on smoothing that out. But because, yeah, it works within the medium that he is immersed in. That was a long-winded way to say that. That sounds like it's getting more arytenoid rattly as we go through the song. Ah! Ah! Like that kind of sound. That sounds nuts coming out of me. It sounds very natural though, so I think it's kind of happening on its own. It's not like he's doing what I'm doing, which is like adding the Cookie Monster sound onto it. Ugh! His kind of sounds like it's mixed through his voice, and when he projects in that way, that rattle kind of naturally comes out. It's really effective though, I like it. Okay, so now he's drawing back and he's getting into a more intimate kind of style of vocal. Here, he's dropping his larynx to make that sound richer. Na 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 na. Na 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 na. The notes themselves aren't too low, but when you sing it with that drop larynx, it sounds super low. If I was to sing it in a high larynx, na 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 na. Mid, na 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 na. Low, na 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 na. They're all the same notes, but you can hear that the drop larynx sounds deeper and it sounds richer, and it's purely larynx height that's doing that. Very, very nice. To kind of make sense of it, I'll do it on one note so you can hear that drop in real time. Na. There, that's all the same note, it's just the larynx height that's changing. That jet, jet, jet sounds to me like it's a belty kind of sound. So when your cricoid cartilage rocks and opens up the CT space, which is the space between your cricoid cartilage and your thyroid cartilage. More air builds up in that space behind the vocal folds and you get a bigger sound. So A would be what we would consider a belt. So when he's doing that kind of call and response to the crowd, when it's that sharper, kind of thicker sound, that makes me think that he is belting at that point.
No, nothing, shut up, shut up, shut up. No, nothing, shut up. Shut up, shut up. Say what? No, nothing. Yeah, no, nothing. No, nothing. Shut up. Shut up.
Another thing that I like about this kind of chanting part of the song is that it seems like he's got it on a bounce. Ba, 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 ba. It's got a really nice kind of movement to it. It doesn't feel too like stiff. It feels like it's still got a little bit of movement there. I bet he's got like excellent control over his diaphragm. That's purely conjecture. I can't prove that. He is very cool. Very cool. What's the others? Did they have to put the jacket back on him because he had both his shoulders out and the crowd were going a bit too wild? Oh, that was a rubbish joke.
Tokyo, arigato. I want to say just one word. Love.
That was cool. A really interesting point to note is that his speaking voice was way smoother than his rapping voice. It's kind of the opposite of what I would have expected. Like I'd expect someone's singing voice to be a bit kind of sweeter and their speaking voice to be a bit more kind of on the nose, kind of straight on. But when he's going ba 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 and that's kind of projected and punchy, and then he moves into speaking voice, it's like, I just got one thing I want to say, love. Like it was smooth. The larynx kind of dropped to make that sound richer, a bit like that little part in the middle of the song. But if that's how he speaks all the time, he is a smooth talker. So I can't believe that's the last of the rap line breakdowns. For now, we'll probably do more at some point, don't panic. But if you like that reaction, please give it a like and a thumbs up down below. And if you want to see more from me, hit subscribe, ring the bell, and anytime I have new content, you will be the first to know. So how are we going to buy this one then? I have no idea. So I guess all that's left for me to say is thank you so much for joining me and go watch my stuff, hit subscribe. I've got one thing to say to you. Like and subscribe. No idea. Sorry. Bye.